Thanks so much for being here today. So for today, I just wanted to spend a little bit of time reviewing what Emoti-Con is, sort of the goals of the day, how the day is set up and structured, and how you can help prepare youth in your organization to participate. I'll also spend a little bit of time talking about Emoti-Con's badging system, which uses Mozilla's Open Backpack, and give you sort of a preview of what it looks like when you give badges to students for their participation in Emoti-Con, and then also the process that your students go through to set up a backpack and access those badges, which they can use in lots of ways. It'll be fun. So if you have any questions, like I said, I have the chat window open, so you can put them in, or you should be able to, I believe, unmute or give yourself, turn your mic on as we go. So whichever you prefer, we'll get going. So the basic overview of what Emoti-Con is for anyone who's new to it, and I think a lot of folks are familiar, but I'll just throw this out here. So it's an annual conference. This is going to be the 5th annual Emoti-Con, and the full title is the Emoti-Con NYC Youth Digital Media and Technology Challenge. And the idea is for youth from organizations all across the city, from all kinds of non-formal learning environments, to have the opportunity to share out the work that they've been doing throughout the year, to hear from their peers and get feedback from peers and from professionals working in various fields of technology and digital media. So it's part like science fair for technology projects, and also part a professional development opportunity, part just a networking opportunity for youth, and it's also really fun for anyone who hasn't been there before. It's a really, really fun day. It was founded by 4 Hive organizations working together, the New York Public Library, Global Kids, Parsons New School, and Mouse. And this year we also are very excited to have members of the Hive staff on our steering committee as well, so that's exciting. And we also have a youth committee who we call the A-Team that's being led by Jill at Global Kids, and they are helping with planning and a lot of great behind-the-scenes work, and you'll see them on the day of as well. So I just wanted to start also by asking, if your organization is not on this list, if you could take a moment after we're done to go to the survey and fill it out. It's really, really helpful for us just to get a head count and to start to get an idea. Whoever is scrolling through, please stop. And to get a head count and start to get an idea of how many people will be there, how many projects we can expect, and sort of the realms of media that we're going to see represented. If your name is there, if we haven't been in touch with you already, we will be soon, and you can also always reach out to me or to emoticonnyc@gmail.com, and I'll share contact information at the end of this as well in case you don't have it. Yeah, we're really excited because just when not so many people, we're very excited. So there are 10 organizations on this list, not counting the 4 steering committee organizations, which will also be participating. So it's already looking like we're going to have a really great crowd this year. We're really excited. Last year was the biggest it's ever been so far, and I think we're going to break that record this year. So thanks so much for everybody who's already letting us know what's going on. The basics, so it'll be held, Emoti-Con is going to be held on June 1st. We are lucky enough to have the beautiful Bartos Forum at the main Manhattan Public Library. It's gorgeous. We're already so excited about seeing it full of students and full of projects. And if you need any of the basic details or you want to be able to share them, we have this handy save the date flyer. You can download it from bit.ly.com/emoticonstd, and it's also been linked on Minigroup before, so I'm sure you can find it there if you need to. So please go ahead and share that as you see fit. So just a brief overview of what the day is going to look like. The A-Team, so that's our youth committee, is going to be facilitating a fun activity to kick the day off and get everybody going. We're going to have some awesome keynote speakers. We're working on finalizing the list right now, but it's looking really great. I just saw a shout out to the A-Team in the chat section. They are a really fabulous group of youth from several different Hive organizations, and we're really, really excited to be working with them. There's going to be the project fair, which is the opportunity for everyone to take the time to go around and check out all the fabulous projects that students have brought in, and ask questions and hear more about them. There's going to be opportunities for youth to network and share out and learn a little bit about the various Hive organizations that are represented. And then we give out awards for outstanding projects, which is also really exciting. Okay, and what joker is scrolling through my slides? So here are some things just to start thinking about how you'll prepare for Emoti-Con, the essentials to bring if your students are presenting projects. They're projects, of course, so, and we are very happy to see prototypes, models, SketchUps, mock-ups, We don't expect every project to be finished and polished. In fact, we love to see projects in all states of completion. So please feel free to bring whatever your students have worked on in whatever state of readiness it is. Table displays. So we love seeing explanations of what the project is, notes on the design process, lots of, we love seeing information about what students have created and how. We recommend that you bring offline versions of everything. So if your students have designed some kind of digital media, video games, websites, if it's possible to have offline versions, even if it's just like screenshots or more basic versions, we strongly recommend that just in case we have any trouble with internet on the day of. And then anything else you would need to share. We do our best to provide equipment, but if you need something specific like a projector or a certain type of speakers or something, we recommend that you bring your own to make sure that it's going to be compatible with what you've brought. And then a few just notes on how your student can prepare. So we recommend having a short pitch ready, so something that students can use when folks come up to the table. There will be audience members, there will be adults, there will be youth, and also, of course, judges circulating to check out the project. So think about helping your students prepare a pitch that's maybe in the neighborhood of 3 minutes to so if anyone's scrolling through slides on their own, it actually scrolls everybody's slides, just so you know. Okay. So yeah, so short pitch, 3 minutes or less, that explains what their project is, what it does, how they came up with it. If they want to share a little information about the organization that they worked with to create that, the project, that's awesome as well. But just something that can give anyone who comes to their table a basic overview. It's really, really helpful. Think about having an engaging table display. So like I said, something that shows not only what the student's project is, but also what their design process has been. If they see next steps in the future, for example, if it's an early prototype of a project, or if they see the project having capacity to expand and grow, we love to see that represented also, to see what their vision is. And also any notes on the goals of the project, if it's not immediately apparent, what they hope to accomplish with it. I can't hear any background noises, Lainey, so I think you're all right. And let's see. And then preparing a pitch also for if students are selected as finalists at the end of the day. So this can be a slightly longer pitch and something a little more formal. So when they're talking to people who come up to the table, they can expect to do a lot of Q&A and sort of have it'll be a little more conversational. But something that they can prepare to say in front of the whole group that really gives a concise overview of their project. In the past, some students have created slideshows or prezzies or something to go along with that, and that's something that we're totally happy to share while they're up there. It's definitely not required, but it is a great add-on if your students have the time, or if it helps them organize their thought process for putting this pitch together. That's great as well. And it's also worth noting that one of the finalist prizes is for best pitch, so it can be really advantageous to have practiced this a bit. So the judging process. Basically, a group of judges is going to be circulating throughout the event, and they'll each be assigned a set of projects to ask questions about and check out in the course of the project fair, and they'll be speaking with the youth creators. The judges are going to nominate a group of finalists, and I'll show you the categories in just a second. And in the past, we have had questions about, what about younger students competing against older students, and how does that work? And so we are going to have special provisions to make sure that students' age is taken into account, and that we see, a good range of ages represented in the finalists. And then the finalists who are selected are going to do that pitch in front of the entire group, and then youth in the audience will vote on which finalist gets which award. So one exciting thing is that every finalist group will get some award, and it's just a matter of what category, and then one finalist group will get 2 awards. They'll get a category award as well as the crowd favorite award. So this is just a basic overview of the judging criteria. We wanted to share this partly to help prepare, to be a little more transparent about what the process is going to be like, and also to sort of give you and your youth an idea of what to expect. So these are the 5 main categories that we're looking at. We want to take into account that a lot of different mediums are represented, and that's something that we love about Emoti-Con, and really love to see the diversity of projects. So, excuse me. So we've done our best to keep these categories pretty broad and pretty applicable to any medium your students may be working in. So originality and creativity, technical mastery of whatever tools they're using, and the aesthetic value of the content they've created, their success or alignment with their stated goal. So even if they've presented a prototype, you can probably see from the prototype, are they working towards the goal that they've stated, that they've laid out for themselves with this project. Their vision for next steps and scalability, again, taking into account that not every project may be in its final, finished, polished state. And then also their presentation and pitch during the fair. So, you know, how did they work with students who, or with youth and adults who came up to the table? You know, what were they able to answer questions, that kind of thing. These are the categories for awards. As far as the digital badges that we'll be giving out, all students who present projects will get the presenter award. Students can choose not to compete. If they want to present a project but not be part of the competition, they're absolutely welcome to do so, and we'll have a way for them to indicate that on their table, that they're just there to share and they don't want to participate in the judging or the competition. But they'll still earn that presenter badge for their digital portfolio, for their Mozilla backpack. And then the award categories are Best Pitch, Most Innovative, Most Entertaining, Most Social Impact, and this year we're introducing a brand new award, the Point of View Award, the POV Award, which we're really excited about. And then there's the crowd favorites. So there will be winners in each of the 5 other categories, the Best Pitch, Innovative, Entertaining, Social Impact, and POV. And then one of those winning groups will also get the crowd favorite award. So I'm going to talk a little bit about badges now. If anybody has questions about judging or about the day of Emoti-Con before we get started with that, if you want to either unmute yourself or ask questions in the chat, I just wanted to give a second before I leap into the badging conversation here. How many teams? That's a great question. Right now, I don't believe we have a cap per organization because we're still at a really comfortable level for enrollment. So if you have the chance to fill out that survey, and here I'll just go back to it really quickly. There's the link to the survey, and you can indicate how many you're planning on bringing. There will be a formal registration. Oh yeah, Jack has a good point. The sooner you register, the more teams you can bring because it is first come, first served. We will have a formal registration further down the line to get the actual names of students who are coming and get more detail about the projects you're bringing, so we can be prepared for that. But for now, yeah, it's really, really helpful for us to get an estimate of how many students you would like to bring. And if it looks like it's going to go way over the top, then we may get in touch with you about that. But right now, it's looking great for however many you're interested in bringing along. Are there any other questions? Okay. Well, I'll have time at the end as well. So I'll just scroll back to badges. 1 second. Whoops, it's not badges. There we go. Some of you who brought students to Emoti-Con last year already shared contact information for giving out badges. So if you did that last year and you're the contact again, you're all set, and I'll be emailing everybody to remind them who they are, just in case anyone's forgotten. But basically, if you just send us your email address, we will create a login for you, and you can log into the Emoti-Con badging system so that after Emoti-Con, you'll be able to award badges to your students. And then the thing to note is just that that email address is going to be your organization's login for the Emoti-Con badging site. So we only need 1 contact per organization, 1 email address per organization. And that's also the email address that will receive notifications from that site. And you can email me, naomi@mouse.org, if you are not sure whether you're listed or if you want to add yourself to the list. And I'll be sending out more information about that directly around Emoti-Con as well. I would ask questions. So here's a look at how badging works for you, the issuer of badges. So you would go to Emoti-Con.org, that's emoti-con.org, and log in with that login information that you provide to us, so your username. The homepage will show you all the badge options, and they each have a short description, so you can get a refresher on what the different categories are. And you just, for any of them, you can just click that you want to either award a badge, so that would be to give it to someone new who hasn't received it yet. And obviously these will also all be updated to say 2013, and we'll have some other updates to the graphics as well, which are coming soon from our amazing student design team at Parsons. So when you look at any given badge, you can award it to new students who haven't received it before, or you can click on Manage Recipients to see students who have received it in the past and check on whether they've accepted it yet. When you see, so this is what you see when you say Manage Recipients, and it will tell you when you sent it, if they've accepted it yet, and if there are any errors or anything else that you need to be aware of. All you need to assign badges is the student's email address, by the way. So if you want to award a badge, you just click on Award and you fill out the short form. So you put in the email address of the recipients separated by commas. So if you brought like 20 students who all presented a project or multiple projects, you can put them all in there. The notes are internal just for yourself, so that when you're looking at that management page, you can be reminded of why you gave these students a badge in case you need that. And then also you would put your name in as the person issuing the badge. You have the opportunity to review and click Submit, and it takes you back to the Manage Badge page so that you can look there and confirm that you have actually sent out the badges to the students who earned them. If you give out a presenter badge, it's automatically distributed to students. And if you give out one of the award badges that only go out to the winners, it'll be reviewed by the Emoti-Con site admin, and then you'll get an email when it's approved, and the students will also get an email. So students go through a slightly different process, and so this is also, I'm going to be sharing a little bit about how the Mozilla Backpack system works, so you'll get to see what it looks like for students to sign up for that, and obviously they can use the Backpack for badges other than Emoti-Con as well, and hopefully they will. So first of all, when you award a badge, students get this email. It says congratulations. It tells them what award they've won and has a link to access it. They click on any of the links in the email to view and accept. And when they then they're taken to a page on emoticon.org, and when they click that little accept button at the bottom there where that red arrow is, they get this pop-up from Mozilla that says, hurrah, and says that they've accepted the badge and they should log in. If they don't have a backpack yet, they just create it. They can just enter the email address, and then they'll be prompted to enter a password to create a login. And so this is where it gets a little confusing, which is why I wanted to go over it sort of step by step. The Open Badges page is actually, to log into it, you need an account with a system called Persona. So what they'll do first, actually, when they're creating this login, it's actually via this system called Persona. So that's what you see here. And it'll tell them, we sent you an email to confirm your new Persona account. And when they go and check their email, this is what it looks like. And they click on that link, and it takes them to this page, which redirects to the Persona site. Oops, I just get back. So it takes them to this page, which redirects to the Persona site there. And then they can see their account details on Persona, on the Persona account. So what's a little confusing is that there's no direct link here to get back to the Open Backpack. So what they have to do is they can go back to that congratulations, you got an award email, and they go back and they click this login thing again. So this is this part is a little confusing. So step by step. So then they go and since they already have their login set up, they can just log in directly. They'll get, instead of it taking them through that whole Persona process again, it'll take them directly to the option to accept the badge. And when they say yes, they can click on the backpack link to see their backpack. The homepage will just show all the badges that they've earned. So the student has earned a presenter badge. If you click on collections, you can create a collection. So if they got presenter and an award, or if they were presenter multiple years in a row and they want to make a collection of all their presenter badges from 2011, 2012, 2013, they can do that. They can just click there to share. You get options to share on Twitter, Google+, or Facebook. If you want to share on Facebook, for example, this thing pops up, and all you have to do is enter your Facebook login. And then when you go to your Facebook page, there it is, your badge. And when people click on it, they see a description, whoops, which I didn't make a slide of apparently. If anyone clicks on it, they'll see a description of what does it mean that that this person won this badge. And And as Jack said, we will be sending out more information about this. It's just we wanted to have everyone prepared and let you know in advance that this is coming. And you know, if people have questions or want to try out the backpack system before Emoti-Con, you'll have this information now. So does anyone have any other questions, anything to go back to, anything about Emoti-Con, the day of, preparing, the judging process, badges, any of it? Oh, the hours of Emoti-Con, that's a really good question. I believe it will be 11 to 4. That's what we've done in the past. So usually we do check-in and lunch from about 11 to 12 or 12:30. We serve lunch at the beginning of the day, and then the rest of the day is dedicated to group activities, keynote speakers, and the project fair and finalist presentations. Lunch is provided, yes. We're very happy to be providing lunch. And as Jack says, yes, it's 5 fabulous hours. Teams and lunches. So usually we have teams. So 11 o'clock is the time for people presenting projects and their mentors to arrive, and then we say anyone who's coming as an audience member can come at 11:30. So yeah, so the 11 a.m. start time is for presenters. We will be opening up spaces for observers. So if there are students in your youth in your program or mentors in your program who weren't working directly on the project that you'll be presenting, but who want to come in and check out the fair and be a part of it, we're really excited to have that. And I would say at this point that you should include them in your estimate that you're submitting on that survey. And when we reach out with the final event confirmation and registration, we'll have a separate designation for if they're presenters or if they're there to be members of the audience. Any other questions? I also have been recording this webinar with all my fabulous stops and starts, and I'll be sending out a recording of it if you want to share it with anybody else. Oh, so the question, what if participants don't have emails and they want to use the Mozilla Backpack? I believe that there's not a way to use the Mozilla Backpack without having an email address, unfortunately. And I think part of that is it's working on the assumption that youth are 13 or older because of legal reasons. But yeah, I think they do have to have an email address. It's possible that you could, yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah. Thank you, Jack. Yeah, so if there aren't any other questions, I actually forgot to make a slide with contact information, which would have been pretty handy if I had thought of it. So I'm just going to put up a blank slide right now and plug in some information in case you need it. So I'll put my email address and then also all the information for where to get details about Emoti-Con if you ever just want to look stuff up. Let's see. So this is my email address, the general Emoti-Con email address. And then I'm putting our social media up here as well. So. And if you haven't followed us on Twitter and liked us on Facebook yet, we would love it if you would. So there's that beautiful slide for everybody. So if there are no other questions, I'll shut this down. But thanks again so much for taking the time to be here. Like I said, I'll send this out to everybody who logged in today so that if you need to reference any of the information or share it with any of your colleagues, you can. Oh, and post on mini group. That's a great idea. Thank you, Lainey. And yeah, thanks, everybody.